This was a really good set as well. I did like some of the cards in here. I thought they were really good. So let's see what we got. Anything interesting? Hello guys and girls, welcome to another episode of RedManaMadness. We have got something different today. I thought I would go through like a deck build or a deck tech or something like that as like an additional content to bring forward. So I thought for today, instead of opening packs, I'm still waiting on some product to come through so we can start a new series. I thought I would go through a deck that I've been in the middle of making. It's taken me a couple of months, so I'm a bit slow with things, but one of my favourite formats to play is Pioneer, and I play Pioneer at my local game store in Redhill here, at the Gamers Guild, with my buddies on that for Friday Night Magic, and I've been itching to try this new deck because when March of the Machines came out, one of my favourite creatures that I picked up on the pre-release was the Rampaging Raptor. I thought this creature was absolutely cool. This card was really good, and I ended up making like a Gruul deck with battles, and I really liked the battle mechanic. I thought the gimmick was really good. I thought it was pretty snazzy, and so it kind of inspired me to do something here. So I did Boros, which is white and red. And I wanted to do something relating to battles and something relating to the dinosaur here, this Rampaging Raptor, because one of its abilities is whenever it deals damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to a planeswalker or a battle that player protects. So it's like I don't even need to attack or target the battles that I play, so I get nothing but the benefits from it. So the idea behind this deck is play battles, get the benefits for when it enters the battlefield, use the Raptor to attack my opponents with the trample and haste, destroy the battles, get the additional benefits. I've play tested it a little bit with some of my buddies, my friend Luke and Dennis. We had a little couple of goes each. They were trying out new decks themselves, so it did quite promising, but obviously against, like, I know they play fairly competitive decks, they always build something really cool. And with this one, I got a couple of inspirations, so to speak, and some ideas with other people making some Boros decks. And I've just basically collaborated 5 or 6 people's ideas together and made it a little bit more, hopefully a little bit competitive for Pioneer. It's essentially what I've done is there's a few people that made a deck similar to this online, but it's more for standard, and what I've done is I've tried to include a couple of cards that's Pioneer legal, and whatnot. This deck still needs work, but what I thought what we'll do today is we'll go through it together. I'll show you the cards and show you the idea behind it. I thought what I'd do is we'll go through the deck together, we'll go through the cards, and we'll create discussion about it. Hopefully I see you guys in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think this deck's a good idea? Could you think of something better? Do you think there's something that I could add to this that you've used or you've heard of that would definitely improve this deck? So we'll go through it together. I'll show you the sideboard as well. But essentially the idea behind it is to play creatures fast. So I have like the Kumano faces Kakkazan, I think it's pronounced. 1 damage to your opponent. The next creature I cast comes with an additional 1/1. You exile, and I get a 2/2 with haste. Not bad for 1. The Monastery Swiftspear, haste and prowess, again the speed, I have 4 copies of these. And with the other idea behind with the speed, there's a bit of aggro, so you just attack, and then the secondary objective is to like control things or maintain things. So I have a fair bit of exile. So I have 2 copies of Chain to Rocks, which you enchant a mountain, and then when it enters the battlefield, you exile target creature opponent's control until this leaves the battlefield. For 1 to exile a creature, I think is quite good. So the usual Boros Charm, like if you're playing Pioneer, Boros Charm is like a go-to spell for red and white. 4 damage to target player. Opponent becomes indestructible, and target creature gains double strike. That's quite good if I'm able to get my Raptor out and I got a couple of battles and I do double strike, potentially up to 8 damage, like that I could do to a battle and then flip them over. Quite good. Again, the indestructible to avoid removals maybe. And just 4 damage to someone's face. During the playtesting, I was able to defeat my buddy Dennis just by doing 4 to his face on one of my turns. So some of the battles here is the Invasion of Gobakhan, You know, again, exiling and controlling. Obviously, they can still play it, but it enables them, you know, costs 2 more after I've exiled it. So just to slow my opponents down, at least I get to look at their hand as well. So I get an idea of things to come. And on the flip side is at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each creature that attacks this turn. Creatures, and I can sacrifice this, and creatures I control become indestructible to the end of turn. So this is quite good. So the idea behind this is, say, because it's only got 3 life, say if I had this out on the battlefield and I had my Battle Raptor out, I hit my opponent for 4, I then deal 4 damage for this, I flip it at the end of my turn because my Raptor attacks this turn, I immediately already get to put a 1/1 counter on my Raptor. So on the next turn it's already a 5/5, which is quite good. I have at the moment 3 copies. Is it 3 or 4 copies of this? 1, 2, 3 copies of this. I'm after maybe a 4th, I don't know, still undecided. Lightning Strike, 3 damage to any target, face, battles, creatures. It seems to be quite versatile. The Angelfire Ignition. This one has flashback. I'm on the fence. I mean, I've used this. It seems to be quite handy. Obviously, it's very slow. There might be other spells that do something similar that might be better. Maybe at instant speed, I don't know. But 2 1/1 counters on a target creature. Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste. Not that the haste is needed. I think each creature I have has haste, apart from the Monastery Mentor. But we'll get to him in a second. And it has flashback. I wanted to have 2 copies of this, but I've only got the 1 for the moment. So deciding what I want to do with that. Seal from Existence is another control part of it. You know, a non-land permanent, so anything, you know, if anyone's got a Planeswalker or certain artifacts, creatures, I get to remove those, or enchantments, I get to remove those, and, you know, has board 3, you know, 4 of those in there, I think, quite handy. Fable, the Mirror Breaker, 2 of those, you know, the treasure tokens, just in case I'm a bit troubling for mana, the discard and the draws as well, so I can try and search and find the hand or the cards that I need if I'm in trouble. And the Kiki Jiki, create a token that's a copy of another non-legendary creature that I control. Basically, I'd just be creating more Raptors. Just flood the board with Raptors with them. You know, create another one. It has haste attack. So 2 of those. The Invasion of Regatha, so 4 damage to target opponent or another battle. So I could use this to destroy another battle. 1 damage to a target creature. You never know, something with a 2/1 or a 3/1. Might be able to remove something. The other side as well is quite handy, is another creature with prowess. So whenever a non-creature source you control deal damage to a battle or an opponent, it deals that damage +2. So if I decide to, say for example, use the Boros Charm, if I want to do the 4 damage to a target opponent and this is out, I get to do 6 instead. That's pretty big, 6 damage for a red and white. Yeah, so 3 of those in there. Monastery Mentor as well. So with this one helps create like a board state, especially with Gobakhan, because when you transform this, you cast it transformed. So when this is on the battlefield, if I had the Mentor out and I cast this, I get the trigger from the prowess, which means I get a 1/1 and I get to create the monk as well. And then once you defeat this, you cast it transformed, so it counts as a cast, and this is an enchantment, again another non-creature spell, so you get to create another one and get the prowess. So it's more for the prowess trigger is more for just creating those tokens, but I got 4 of those in there, but it helps with creating like a bit of a board state, and obviously those monks have prowess as well. So you know, as I'm playing all these battles, as I'm playing these, you know, Boros Charms and other things, the Sagas, Fable Mirror Breaker, the Kumano faces Kakkazan, the Chain to Rocks as well, as I'm exiling things, as I'm controlling the board, I'm creating the prowess, I'm creating monks, I'm, you know, getting the 1/1s. It just helps create other things as well. Yeah, and the star of the show, I guess, is the Rampaging Raptor. 4 of those. For 4, it's not too bad. 4 is the maximum CMC in this deck. It only goes up to 4. 2 copies of the Wandering Emperor. You know, the counters maybe. The first strike would be handy. Creating tokens as well, and in case I'm getting attacked. 7 plains, 10 mountains. I've got some battlefield forges. Sundown Pass. The Crucible, Defiance, and Seat of the Empire, just in case I need to channel anything, create some more tokens, or deal 4 damage to attacking or blocking creature. you just never know, I guess. They're quite handy, these legendary lands are quite versatile. I know maybe if anyone would to comment anything, is maybe to have some shock lands in. I can't remember the name of the red and white shock lands, but with Pioneer, they seem to be quite a bit of a staple to have those in with those Boros shock lands. For the sideboard, again, it's just more control really. I guess I got ossification, so I can, enchant a basic land, exile a creature, I guess, more exile. This one is more in case I face blue, I guess, I'm not too sure. Blue or white, it can't be countered, does 1 damage, but if it's blue or white, it does 5 damage instead to a creature or planeswalker. For 1 red, pretty good. It's mana, efficient, so to speak. And the Surge of Salvation, you and permanents you control get hexproof till the end of turn, prevent or damage that black or red sources would deal to creatures you control this turn. So again, trying to save my creatures. The creatures are the main thing. Like, the battles are useless, and everything else is useless if I don't have the creatures. So I need to try and protect them. So got 3 of those in the sideboard. Another couple of Chain to Rocks in case I need more. This one I don't know why it's in here, but it says players can't gain life this turn, damage can't be prevented this turn, and it deals 3 damage to target player. Maybe just a little bit of flavour in there in case someone has a little bit of life gain. And I can maybe help try and prevent that. And this one, I actually need to double check if this is actually Pioneer legal, but just something to destroy artifacts or enchantments really. It's nice and cheap. So that's the sideboard. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the deck in general. Yeah, it's not too bad. I feel it's definitely the fastest thing I've ever built. I have tried to build decks in the past, and they're just way too slow, and I just can't keep up with my opponents. Like by turn 4, it's over. I might do like a little follow-up video after a Friday Night Magic, and just see how it went, and where did I come, who did I face, the kind of decks I played against, if you guys are interested, I can keep you guys posted on how it went. But yeah, I'd like to hear your input as well. Like if you enjoy making decks, or if any of you guys play Pioneer and you're quite savvy with it, what would you add to this? Like, have at a first glance, like seeing these things, what would you add? Do you think Monastery Mentor is a good idea? Or do you think the battles in general are just absolutely pants, like a waste of time? Like, would you ever use battles in Pioneer? Or do you think they could be a viable option? Like, some of these look quite good. Boros Charm is a really, really handy tool. Like, you get to, pick and choose what you want to do depending on the circumstances. Just before I go, we are a pack opening channel, and it wouldn't be an episode if I didn't at least open 1 pack for you guys. So try and keep you guys entertained with that at least. So let's see what we get for today. I've been sitting on this pack for a little while. New Phyrexia. I did actually like this set. This set was another set that I thought was really, really good. When this came out, and then when March of the Machines came out, I thought these 2 sets were really, really good. Oh, that shiny lands. Maybe I'll put that in there. I'll replace one of the planes of a shiny land. Yeah, but this was a really, really good set as well. I did like some of the cards in here. I thought they were really, really good. So let's see what we got. Anything interesting? The Phyrexian Obliterator. Look at that. This is actually like the 5th one I've pulled of this. I've actually, another deck video I'm going to try and do. There's like a Fight Me deck I want to build. Like, is it black and green? Is it Golgari? Basically, it involves 4 copies of this, and I want to create like where you deliberately fight the Obliterator and force you to sacrifice things. That's the idea. I want to do something like that. But I don't know how I can make it work. We'll figure something out for another video, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, cool, another one, Sky Hunter Strike Force. And Grizzly Transformation. I love it when I get things from the list. It doesn't matter how crap the card is, I always buzz when I get one. There you go. Foil rare and a rare. Well, what I'll do is I'll put these on the store, as always. So yeah, guys, leave a comment. Yeah, leave likes, leave a comment, let's create a discussion. Let me know what you think of it. Like, what would you do better? Like, is this like a good idea? Do you think this is a good idea? If it is, let me know. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. Check out my eBay store, especially later on. The Phyrexian Obliterator and that other thing I just pulled will be going up on there, so keep an eye out for that. Check out Instagram as well. It's getting a bit of a revamp. My girlfriend is doing a fantastic job. Like, she's been taking loads of pictures and other little bits and bobs, and she's been jazzing it up, and she posts things every now and then. Like, whenever I list new cards, she's also advertising it on there, so you get a quick glimpse of what's going on. So if you can't be bothered to check out the store and scroll through everything I have, if you check out Instagram, you'll see like a collage of cards that she's putting up there. So she's doing a fantastic job, and I love her to bits, and I'm really grateful for her. So babes, if you're watching this, love you so much. But yeah, yeah guys, gonna love you and leave you. yeah, the three things: subscribe, comment, like, and yeah, boom. Have a good one.